If you are very observant in what is happening around the world right now, you are going to start connecting the dots, which is that they are about to fake an invasion using the Project Bluebeam method, which this Project Bluebeam theory is so terrifying because, first of all, they will crash everything, which its greatest agenda in doing it is to achieve the one world order using your weakness, which is fear, as a leverage, because there will be blackouts, banks frozen, phones dead, which this is already taking place right now. Because if you pay attention, you will realize that they are already blaming Iran and cyber attacks on this. And while you panic in the dark, they roll out shocking discoveries, ancient tablets under tactical ruins that say that every religion is a lie, and they put them into hidings for it not to ruin their plans. Secondly, the sky becomes a movie screen. Giant holograms of Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, whatever you worship, will appear over your cities. Each country sees their own god. Then all the gods speak at once and merge into one new savior, which satellite and secret lasers has already been tested on the desert for this. They will make you think it is the end time, while it is just a special effect. And lastly, God talks inside your head, and this is called voice to skull tech, which this is a real military weapon and techs like this we are used during the extraction of President Maduro in Venezuela. So they will beam word into your brain. Everyone will be hearing their God telling them, obey the new world order. No headphone needed, and billions of people will drop to their knees, thinking that it is real, while all along it's nothing but a frequency trick and not heaven. So the fake alien invasion and fake rapture, they laser shoot UFOs and cities shake, and of course you know that they are the one that controls weather and they are the one that controls earthquake. You should know by now. And people vanishes into the light beam. Then the new savior appears and say, follow me or die. And these holographic projections has been used in the movie Spider-Man Far From Home and OZ, the Great and the Powerful. They keep on telling you this in plain sight. So now, are you seeing the deception these people are trying to pull off? One world government, one religion, and total slavery. And they have been showing you this in the movies for years for you to clap when it happens. And I call this predictive programming. Just pay attention and see through the lies. They are about to pull off the greatest trick in history. And Project Bluebeam is real. They are about to fake God, fake aliens, and force one world religion. And NASA, CIA, and the UN wrote it down back in the 90s. They said, when the light goes out so soon, meaning when the light of the day, when the day goes out so soon, and the sky start to talk, it is for you to bear it in mind that it has already started. If you are paying attention, you will realize that there's a whole lot of paranormal activities that is happening around the world today. Look, you all should watch out, for the greatest deception is about to be put on us. The devil has never been real like you are told. Heaven and hell isn't real either. Rather, it is a set of mind. That is why there's a whole lot of psychological warfare on human mind. And why they are doing this is nothing but to create fear and to use it as a leverage to control you. And they are achieving this by putting fear in you. I know after saying this, you religious folks will say that I am of the devil, that I am Satan's first son. But I really wish that you people can read in between the lines. Now, I want to ask you guys this question. What and who is the devil? I know this is what comes to your mind whenever that name is being mentioned, Baphomet. But if only you guys are good in esoteric knowledge, you understand that this is nothing but symbolism and it is something to decipher and not the devil itself. Look, Satan is not a literal being, rather, it represents the body and the ego presenting temptation to you. The awareness trying to gain your attention, will and command so that you act upon them. Now, when you check the etymology of Satan, it comes from the Hebrew, meaning adversary or obstacle. In early Jewish texts, Satan was never a cosmic evil being. He was the voice of doubt, inner resistance, the part of you that opposes your highest self. Because your body is a kingdom, the ego is the false king claiming the authority it doesn't have. It whispers to you, you need this, you deserve that, they disrespected you, which this is nothing but a pure temptation. And the ego's job is to pressure itself not to serve your evolution. And Christ, which is in you, represents consciousness observing without identification. Not the thoughts, not the impulses, but the one watching them, which is the observer. This is Gnosticism, and this is the kingdom of heaven within you, and not a reward after death that religion has made you to believe. Rather, it's a set of consciousness accessible now, if only you are ready to turn inward. Because the kingdom of heaven is like a man warring or fighting against his enemies within. Because your enemies are not external like your pastors and priests has made you to believe. Rather, they are your unchecked desires, your reactive mind, your identification with the body. And the war is internal, and the victory is mastery over oneself or thought. So every temptation is the ego attempting to negotiate with your awareness. Those thoughts that comes like, take more, eat more, buy that, seek revenge, or seek validation. So it is not evil, it is mechanical because it is the body's program trying to run, and your job is to witness it without obedience. Just like when you are about to meditate, you know, whenever you want to meditate, thoughts will start coming and flowing in just like the river. And if you keep on tapping into those thoughts or obeying those thoughts, whatever those thoughts are telling you to do, then meditating becomes very, very hard for you. But when you do not even buy into those ideas. You just let them flow as they come without even obeying them or without even tapping into those thoughts. Then you see yourself meditating. So that is how it is. Now, how about the fallen man, which is Adam? Look, Adam's fall wasn't about an apple. It was about eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, knowing the mind's duality instead of resting in the unity of consciousness. And we have been fallen ever since we identified as the ego instead of being the witness, which Christ came to teach us not salvation from sin, but liberation from the identification. So the cross represents the intersection of the spirit and matter, the place where you stop serving the body and remember your true nature, which is awareness itself. And the resurrection isn't a historical event you believe in, rather, it's a psychological of death and rebirth. And whenever I see people going to Israel and the rest of the world for pilgrimage, I can't help but laugh because they are making millions of dollars off it because those stuff aren't a historical event, you understand? And they know this. That's why the Jews are laughing at you guys whenever they see you people, you understand? And that is why it is called tourism. So resurrection simply means you die of ego identification and resurrect in pure awareness, which this happens in meditation, and this happens in the presence. And why they ban this is because Satan is just ego and Christ is your own awakened awareness, and they knew this. That's why they banned this, because if you knew, then you don't need priests, pastors, rituals, or institutional mediation, because you become your own savior. So this was dangerous for the hierarchical religions. That's why they removed it to control you. So they literalized it, they externalized it, and made you afraid, and used your fear as a leverage to put the greatest deception in history of humanity. If only you guys can wake up and begin to see beyond the illusions of this world, the dots will start connecting. I know I'll be sounding like a madman to you right now, but truth be told, Project Bluebeam is real and it is happening right now. Peace.